just wrapped up. He's now on cross, but I want to tell you about some of the things that were talked about on the direct examination. So he was talking about baby oil, Astroglide. He talked about a situation. He was the advanced guy. He would go into the hotel rooms and he would set up the rooms in preparation for the freak-offs.
What's poppin', family? This is your backstage pass to a story unfolding in real time, one that the glitzy PR machines of Hollywood pray you'll ignore. We parse testimony line by line, separate fact from rumor, and give you front-row commentary the big networks often sanitize. If you value receipts over rehearsed statements, smack that like button, subscribe so you never miss a docket drop, and ring the bell, because this feed moves faster than a defense objection when fresh evidence hits the record. Everything you hear in today's episode derives from publicly available court filings, accredited pool feed notes, and reputable on-scene reporting. At this stage, all claims remain allegations until the jury renders a verdict or the parties reach another legal resolution. Our coverage condemns harassment, doxing, or hateful content toward any individual or protected group. This video is created under fair use provisions for news, analysis, and documentary commentary. Viewer discretion advised. While we'll keep language clean and non-graphic, some testimony references coercive adult situations.
What we saw in that awful video from the Intercontinental was bad, but to hear the actual graphic details of what Cassie and others endured day after day for years is just completely heartbreaking. And to hear the secretary actually tried to offer her aid when, she was being beaten, and literally she went to him for solace, as opposed to the person who supposedly loves and cares about her. She had to jump into the arms of a sex worker, and he was literally like, this is not okay. You need to leave this relationship. And she did, unfortunately, what so many survivors do, which is, I'm okay, it's gonna be okay, basically I can handle this. And the reality is she really needed to get out because she was being violated and degraded in so many different ways. And my heart just breaks for her so much.
Melba, you're so right. Ours do as well. What's it going to be like today when she is perhaps called? We think that she's going to be witness number 3. We have a clip where we caught up with her lawyer outside of the courthouse on Monday. Let's take a quick look.
How is Cassie? Is she emotional? Is she feeling okay with this? Is she nervous?
She's ready.
She is ready. She's also pregnant, God bless her, and visibly pregnant too. So in the later stages of her pregnancy.
From the second sunrise glazed the Manhattan skyline, the courthouse felt electrically charged. Reporters jammed the barricades, jostling for elbow space as photographers unleashed a strobe-storm of flashes. Out of a black SUV stepped Sean Diddy Combs, head low, gray suit wrinkle-free yet somehow muted, as if even the fabric felt the weight of the day. He didn't pause for cameras, didn't smirk, didn't wave, just a tight-lipped nod at security before vanishing through the revolving doors. Inside, rumors ricocheted off marble walls. Prosecutors had secured a new insider willing to testify for the first time, and their proffer allegedly touched parts of the case no previous witness had even mentioned. Court officials whispered that extra deputies were stationed near the witness box out of an abundance of caution. In the gallery, seasoned trial junkies refreshed their live blogs, convinced that what was coming could redefine the stakes of an already explosive trial.
He also was saying that he started to realize there was an incident in LA at Mel's Diner. I can get into that a little bit later. He was saying that at that point, when that incident took place, we're talking about guns, some violence, he realized that his life may be in danger, and that's when he left his employment with Sean Combs.
Oh my. Kelly, so many things I want to ask you about. You were saying how this witness made a comment about it being Sean Combs's kingdom and he was just there to serve him. Sounds to me, I'm curious if it sounds to you like this witness is going to the crime alleged of racketeering conspiracy.
To appreciate today's stakes, let's rewind. The first 5 days delivered whiplash moments. Cassie's tear-streaked testimony about emotional control, a text message trove that prosecutors said contradicted Diddy's prior public denials, and a defense motion to suppress that the judge flatly denied after a 3-hour evidentiary debate. Add to that a surprise tech forensics witness who explained metadata in plain English for the jury, and you get a panel already primed to react to any fresh twist. By last night, court watchers thought the biggest fireworks were behind us. until the prosecution's late filing revealed a newly freed witness whose non-disclosure agreement had lapsed barely 2 weeks ago. Inside the judge's wood-paneled courtroom, Diddy looked like a man trying to fold himself smaller. He clasped his hands so tightly, the veins on his knuckles stood out, occasionally leaning into his lead counsel's ear to confer in hushed tones that carried only the scratch of suit fabric. Gone were the diamond cufflinks and lapel flare of earlier court dates. Even his posture seemed stripped down. Observers noticed he avoided eye contact with the public gallery, directing his gaze almost exclusively at the seal above the judge, a fixed point in swirling waters. That posture shifted only when today's witness strode in, at which point Diddy's shoulders drew nearer to his ears, as if bracing for impact.
Bringing him on, the federal prosecutors are bringing him on to kind of show this idea of this continuous cycle of this criminal enterprise and forced labor. He talked about how he would be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he was just one of the people that had this situation where he'd be going all over the place, have to set up the hotel rooms, and a lot of other people were involved.
Oh, quite a job. Kelly, I could talk to you all day, but I know you need to go back in, hear some more testimony, and come back out with these updates. It's been so great having you be our eyes and ears there. Thank you so much. We'll talk again some more about this case.
The clerk announced the witness by initials only, preserving partial anonymity consistent with court protocol for certain cooperating parties. He, let's call him Mr. K, served as a personal aide, logistics fixer, and occasional driver for Diddy from roughly 2010 through 2019. Dressed in a conservative navy blazer, Mr. K testified that his silence had been contractually enforced by an NDA carrying 7-figure penalties, one that finally expired this spring. Calm and deliberate, he first mapped out his duties, booking venues, collecting phones, fielding last-minute requests for studio sessions, before promising the court he possessed first-hand knowledge of isolation protocols allegedly employed during certain private gatherings. Mr. K detailed what prosecution dubs lockdown parties, describing an intake ritual reminiscent of high-security events. Guests arrived via back alley service elevators, surrendered mobile devices into tamper-evident pouches, and, crucially, wrote their phone passcodes on Post-its so security staff could scan for leaks if rumors later surfaced. Once inside the basement studio, a windowless space with soundproofing foam so dense you could scream lyrics and no one topside would hear, guards allegedly secured the exits from the outside. The lights stayed low, music thundered, and alcohol flowed freely, while select guests, according to the witness, felt pressured to remain until dismissed, no matter how late. Mr. K emphasized he never personally witnessed non-consensual acts, but testified that the enforced confinement and relentless party atmosphere created an environment ripe for control, drawing audible gasps from the public rows. Turning to a 2018 yacht event in Biscayne Bay, Mr. K recounted what he called triage at sunrise. Following an overnight celebration marked by heated arguments and a broken champagne flute, he claims a crisis management staffer arrived the next morning carrying a duffel bag of thick envelopes. Each envelope, he testified, was labeled with a first name and contained approximately $25,000 US. According to Mr. K, the envelopes were distributed with an implicit understanding, sign a brief acknowledgement of receipt, and silence before stepping off the vessel. Prosecutors presented a blurry dock camera, still allegedly showing Mr. K passing envelopes. Defense objected, citing image quality and authenticity, but the judge allowed the jury to view it with instructions that its weight was for them alone to decide.
He said that he would bring a toiletry bag for Sean Combs that would have over 40 products that were skin care products. He would go inside that hotel room, line all of those skin products up. He also talked about a time when he walked into one of the hotel rooms because someone had said that they forgot their iPad. He walked in, he testified that he saw Cassie Ventura lying on her back and she appeared. The implication was that she was unconscious. When he made his way into the hotel room, he said that he saw a naked man who he described on the stand as very well endowed. That man then scurried off, and then he imagined, or he indicated that he believed that Sean Combs was in the shower. We do have some testimony that we can put up on the screen. So yesterday, David James, he got on the stand that
the defense attorney launched an aggressive credibility attack, flashing a 10-year-old petty theft conviction involving an unpaid convenience store sandwich. Mr. K, unruffled, admitted the incident, chalking it up to immature desperation during a gap year. Then, in a strike that seemed rehearsed, he produced printed screenshots of text between himself and a security captain. Gate 3, 2 a.m. Keep cameras off. Timestamps aligned with the yacht party's timeline the prosecution had established. The courtroom's collective inhale was audible. The judge leaned in to scan the paper before allowing it into evidence, noting that rehabilitating a witness on the same subject line was permissible. Defense counsel's follow-up questions grew noticeably shorter. The mood darkened when Mr. K recounted an incident in which he heard Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, crying and pleading, "Just let me leave," behind a locked studio door. He was outside in the corridor, delivering bottled water, when he allegedly heard the exchange. Defense immediately objected on hearsay grounds. Prosecutors countered that the statement qualified under the present sense impression exception because the witness perceived the event as it occurred. After a brief bench conference, the judge ruled the testimony admissible, instructing the jury that they alone must determine its reliability. Mr. K's voice trembled as he described sliding the water quietly outside the door and retreating, feeling helpless and complicit. No graphic details were given, only the raw emotion of that moment. Throughout Mr. K's account, jurors took rapid notes. One juror's shoulders slumped noticeably when the Cassie anecdote landed. Court security clocked a soft exhale from another panelist, enough to prompt a gentle reminder from the bench that jurors must keep neutral expressions. Body language experts later told pool reporters that shared glances often signal rising empathy or disbelief, but as always, true impact remains sealed in jurors' deliberative secrecy.
So we're taking a little bit of a break. Cassie just testified for about an hour and a half. She walked in with a brown fitted dress on. She was clearly visibly pregnant. She began by talking about how frequently she was abused when asked by prosecutors. She said things like too frequently and said that she had knots on her head before, busted lips, swollen lip, bruises, that these things were normal for her. When asked about what is a freak off, she talked about it being an experience where Combs watched Ventura have sex with other men, and she said that she learned about this concept within the first year of their relationship. Why she went along with it. When asked that question, she said, "I was 22. I felt a sense of responsibility. I was confused, nervous, wanted to make him happy." So this is only the first hour and a half of her testimony. We're taking a lunch break, but when we come back, I'm sure we'll get more into the details of their relationship. Remember though, this is a case about a criminal enterprise racketeering. So they're laying the foundation as to the relationship between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura, Cassandra Ventura, but it's moving kind of slow right now, but we'll be providing another update when we get more information.
In a deft redirect, prosecutors previewed tomorrow's witness, a forensic accountant prepared to walk the jury through label bank statements flagged for a recurring expense line dubbed special events. Without delving into protected personal data, the state suggested these entries may synchronize to the dates of 4 separate gatherings, including the Biscayne Yacht Night, and match totals Mr. K described. If corroborated, that ledger could transform allegations of hush payments into documentary evidence. Defense protested, labeling the preview trial by teaser, but the judge allowed it, noting the defense would receive the same discovery materials by day's end. Sensing momentum slipping, defense counsel moved for an early recess to process a trove of late-served exhibits. The prosecution countered that all documents were delivered within the agreed-upon discovery timeline. After reviewing the docket clock, the judge denied the motion, emphasizing the court's duty to maintain an efficient schedule. Translation: the evidentiary train keeps rolling and every participant better stay on board. Meanwhile, courthouse corridors buzzed with speculation about an afternoon mystery witness. Some reporters claimed to spot a one-time bodyguard known for his work with multiple high-profile artists. Others whispered it might be an executive producer, long rumored to have clashed with Diddy over royalty splits. Whatever the truth, the sudden need for extra marshals near the back entrance suggested the testimony might be both sensitive and potentially volatile. Outside, fans and critics alike crowded live stream comment feeds, their emoji storms reflecting confusion, anger, and morbid fascination in equal measure.
He didn't sign an NDA, clearly, but did he make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danny Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them up and pip them out to my nigga. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my. And I was like, them somebody kids, and walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today. And we were just talking about that the other day. He done moved back to Indiana. I don't know why. I'm gonna give you that one. He said he drug them all out, them out.
Now it's your turn, digital sleuths. What do you think is encoded in that special events line item? A legitimate production cost or a paper trail time bomb? Drop theories respectfully in the comments, share this breakdown with your group chat, and smash the bell icon so you're first to know whether the afternoon's secret witness confirms or upends today's narrative. Until the gavel falls, remember, allegations are not verdicts, and everyone deserves due process. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and keep asking, what's poppin'? I'll be back tonight with the surprise witness recap. Don't touch that dial.
Why is it impossible?
Because I'm a black man.
You can be scared.
I have so many other things to be fearful of. A clown is not going to scare me.
Really?
Yes. I'm not afraid of clowns.
But I heard that you were.
Well,